Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Here I am going to explain about the core concept of the SwiftUI data flow, that's a state and observed object in SwiftUI. State and observed object is the property wrapper that will be a block of SwiftUI view. Okay, properties, that's a data that drives that UI, which means we can store the data in the view and we can able to change the state of the view. Okay, there is a two concepts, one is a state and the observed objects. These both are the mechanism for managing the data flow in SwiftUI. Okay, so first one is a state. State is in a property wrapper. We can define the property wrapper like at symbol of at begin of the state. Okay, so here the property wrappers that allows the user to store and manage the state within a view. Okay, the changes for the state property that will be automatically trigger the view updates. Okay, key points are the state properties are only a local of the view, and also the changes to the state property that trigger the re-rendering the view and its child view. Okay, so here is the example for here. So the count is a variable, we mentioning at a prefix of at state, so it's called the property wrapper variable. The count is a integer, and also we have a button in the body. So when the tap button was tapped, the action happened, the count plus 1. So whenever we tapping, the count will be increment. So the same, the count was mentioned in the text also. Okay, so the thing, when we tapping, the state was changed, count 1 1 1 like that. So count will be increment, so that the tap count will also increment, so the state is increment, so the UI will be re-render automatically for each trigger. Okay, and then observed object property wrapper, this also called property wrapper. This property wrappers allow to observe the changes in an object to confirm by observable object protocol, which means in state we don't need any protocols, but here we need to confirm the observable object, and also when the observable object changes, that also update the view, SwiftUI view. Okay, the key points are observable object have three components, which means observable objects, protocol, and published variable, and also observable object. Okay, observed object. Okay, observed object can share across the multiple views. Changes to the observed object property that trigger the re-rendering of the view that observe it. Okay, so here is the example. Here I having a class like a user, so that's confirmed by observable object, and also at publisher was mentioned before the name variable, and also in the content view I have mentioned observed object, that's a variable of user, that's a above class. So in the body of the view I have created text with the value of user.name, which means I am mentioning the observable objects class by observed object variable. Okay, so user.name that will be automatically show the hello John. Okay, so what's the difference between here state and the observed object means there is the three things. One is scope, which means where you are going to implement the data flow. So within a view means you can directly use the state. If you are have to use in multiple views or any other things like using some pattern like that, means you design pattern means we can use it on the view model like that. So we can move to the observed object. Okay, trigger means that will be directly trigger in the changes, because we are implementing within the view, so the state is better. If we are using for the multiple views, we have to define the at published property changes. So then only that will be trigger the particular variable, and also that will be can able to observe in the observed objects in view. Okay, use cases. A simple state management within a view, because state is you can easily implement without using any protocols or any published or observed objects like that. But in observed object, there is a complex to the data model and also shared states. Okay, here are the best practices. We have to choose the which one is correct, which one is able, and also which one is easy to use within our project. Okay, and also if we use more observed objects, that will be make a performance issue. Okay, so consider environment objects, that's a global state that will be easily accessed from many views. Okay, so here's a demo. Here you see I have implemented one profile view, edit profile. Here I having in the body of the content I having the form list. Inside of that vstack, in that label, username, bold, and also text field. Text field is nothing but the same thing we used in the UI kit, that's in a UI text field. Okay, here I mentioned the placeholder and also the data storage variable. Okay, that's in a username. Okay, here that username was mentioned as in a var string, and also that was mentioned as in a state, because of whenever we are going to type the text field, that will be re-render the view. So we are mentioning the state, and also this is forced to, the text field was forced to implement the state object, because of that they are asking text as a binding string. Okay, that's the same thing here. Again we are implemented by picker view. Here that's an the source was I already having in the view model, that's an static source that was mentioned here. So I am just using that. Likewise we can easily get the we can design the picker with the segment style, and also the age also the string, and also I get the create the picker, and I will be get the string which one we choose. Okay, likewise I was created. So this is the form that was created, and then the title I have mentioned, it's a navigation title as a edit profile, and also I having the button, that's a submit button with the reference of changing the show alert toggle. Okay, and also the alert was implemented here. Okay, in the button I have mentioned the disabled state. So when what is the validation for that, that was implemented here in the variable computed variable. So in here the username and the gender and the age, that was the character count is more than 3, that will be affected. Okay, that's the thing here I implemented. So whenever we type the text in the text field, and also we change the picker, and also when we change this date pickers age picker, that will be automatically change the submit button state. When we tap the submit button, that will be the value was shown in the alert. Okay, that's the same thing we can also implement also using observed object also. So here this is the state. Okay, now we are going to implement as a same thing to observed object. Okay, before that in the view model I just create the observable object. So which means we are defining this class as an observable object, that's all. And then we are just moving our state properties wrapper into view model and changing our state to published. Okay, so these variables are updated to the published. Then also for the view model we just mentioned the at previous observed object, because this variable only going to observe the the class of the view model changes. Okay, and also we are moved right, so we have to mention the view model. I just copying this. The same thing we have to mention for every places, because of those properties are moved to view model. Okay. Okay, fine. Likewise, we can easily convert this state to observed object. Okay, the same thing, the nothing changes in the view, we just using some design patterns, that's all. Okay, so that the storage was separated from some other place, data flows, and also the view only available in the profile view. Okay, that's the thing here we implemented. So then in the UI there is no changes, only the implementation was changed. Okay, that's the thing, difference between state and observed object. Okay, so I hope you enjoy this video, and also you learn something about the data flow concept in the SwiftUI. Thank you so much. Bye bye.